if there was discussion between gentlemen, whether residents can be on it, but the directors,
decide
are yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to be added to it.
Okay.
To the committee? Yes.
So we would have a committee made up.
It's really hard for us to hear online. It's breaking up and you guys sound really low. Is there a way we can move the mic just a little closer to the speakers?
You hear me now? You hear me now, Natalie?
Yes, I can hear you now. If you guys just project it a little louder, you may be able to hear, but it is breaking up too. So I'm not sure if it's the connection. I'm not sure if that's happening to anyone else, but I know it's happening on my end.
It's the same for me as well. I can't really hear very much.
Yes, it's distorted.
We can hear you fine, both of you. So the distortion, I'm sorry to say, we got a message that said our network bandwidth is low.
Is it possible that you could turn on your closed caption, John? Maybe we can read the screen if we can't hear you. If you can just turn on your closed caption setting so we can read it, that might help us out.
Is that a host?
So they have a poor internet connection because they're pixelated. So the picture and the audio is inferior.
Yes, exactly. So I don't see a closed caption setting.
It's usually down at the bottom. If you click on more, does it say close CC? A little square with CC on it?
That doesn't, it's not there. I've never seen that.
No, okay, that's fine. That was just maybe a solution. Okay.
Hear us now. Okay, we are recording now. I'll notice the meeting wasn't recorded at the beginning. We have 4 board members present. Drew is currently absent. And we approved the minutes from the last meeting. And we're in discussions now with item 2A on the agenda, which is so Tara, you want to be 5 directors, part of the architectural review?
Sure.
I turned up my volume so everyone can hear.
It's not too bad. It's just working. You can turn your speaker off.
If I turn the speaker up, we can't shut off. Nobody can hear anything.
No, not you, Mark.
They will hear, but he's saying that you won't
We
hear.
do from here.
Okay.
Okay, so, committee, existing committee members have to vote to elect Tara to join the committee.
All those in favor of Tara joining? Say aye. Aye. Okay.
Now, any more discussion?
Okay, now, any more discussion? A or B consent. No more
No discussion.
Having no discussion,
Board.
make the motion of the board. Or B,
You made us.
he made a circuit directors. My second.
I second it. Second it.
Or discussion.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe's looking at me funny. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah,
We can always change it. We both can always change it.
Okay,
All
all
those
those
in favor of
being consistent.
just directors, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, if I speak at this volume, can you guys remotely hear me?
We can't understand anything. It's hard for us to participate if we can't hear anything. It's really bad. Is there a way we can take a few minutes to work on the audio so all of us online can participate in this meeting?
I think it's the issue.
You're echoing. Everyone
only
needs to
thing that
turn
might
their
help-
mic off until they're speaking because there's a lot of feedback from each one of your microphones.
I think we only have one microphone.
We only have
on.
Nosh is on right now.
From
Can you
someone
guys hear us
who,
now?
from someone who uses technology every day, it's your internet connection. You have low bandwidth, so we can't understand you and you're pixelated, meaning you're blurry and periodically freeze. There's nothing any of you can do until you improve your internet connection. Maybe this location is not going to work for us in the future because it's nothing you're doing wrong. It's your bandwidth.
100% agree. I just wish I could try another microphone, but that's not gonna help. So as long as you can hear us most of the time, how's this right now? Can you hear me at this volume right
It's
here?
fine now. You just have to keep everybody's microphone off until they're speaking.
Okay, the other thing that will help, is anybody else in the room using video besides us?
No, but I could try and open a hotspot for you.
I'm just thinking, oh. Well, if they can hear me now, let's save that in the back door.
Okay, because I could open a hotspot.
Why not?
Well, let's just let it go and see how it goes.
So far, Natalie just texted that she can hear everything clear now.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to the ARB approvals. We have lot 2 dumpster approved, lot 152 shrub replacement and walkway install approved, lot 152 a hedge install conditionally approved, lot 36 tree installation approved, lot 107 perimeter hedge installed approved, lot 45 screen enclosure approved. And Tracy, do you have information on lot 111 pool deck reno?
Yes, I sent that to you guys this afternoon. I got one approval. And then there were also 2 others which are not included in this. They have to be ratified at the next meeting.
So those will be at the next meeting.
Question about that, is this the one with the fence that we all talked about?
No. Not yet, that's the next one.
152.
That's the violation.
152. Is this under violations or ARB?
It's under the ARB, but the violation is still open.
We approved the ARB, but now we have to talk about the violation of that same law.
So we need a motion for
All those are good.
So would we have to?
I move we ratify the ARBs we just spoke about.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Tara, did you vote?
Yes. I'm yes, aye.
4-0. Big responsibility now. Okay, now we have a violation. We have, the gates and posts are still present on the lot that we've talked about quite a bit. I tried to stop by and talk to the resident and they weren't available. So they still have the gate up, as you can, is this in the picture in your packet?
Yeah.
Does everyone have their packets?
Yep.
So go to page,
page 10.
Go to 10.
She doesn't have a printed version.
Here. Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Or you have one?
I didn't, I downloaded, have a printed version.
The pictures on it? She has
It
it.
is, she does not have a printed version. She has a printed
No.
version of the paint.
No, this is what the paint. That's the wrong, that's
Oh,
that's
that's
different.
Okay.
Look here.
So Terry,
Okay.
you didn't pick one up at the gate, you didn't download it?
No, I downloaded some things, but I didn't get this.
In the packet, this is the whole packet that Tracy
Right.
sent a Dropbox link. She
Right.
asked 3 times for you to download.
Right, I had to I downloaded it, it is, this is everything that I downloaded from my computer before it just got jammed in.
Do you have another packet with you?
I have mine. I mean, I don't need the packet.
I have
just
it here.
need the agenda.
You guys can share.
Right here, yeah, I have it. But then I have it.
Tracy would have printed for anybody that asked. She asked that a couple times. So.
It's always.
Okay, so put a picture over here. What do you want to do about this fence?
Well, at the moment, because the ARB is still open, they still have some time to complete the ARB. So just so that you guys are aware of the status of the violation.
No, I thought
Wasn't
we
the-
gave
wasn't the
48 hours to
conversation-
remove the
Yes.
fence.
The conversation was that,
Within 48 hours, and it was not.
and it's not, so now we're talking about what, two and a half months, 3 months?
Just last month.
That's how we're doing this then?
Month and a half.
So now we're a month and a half?
Could you
So they
guys
missed-
please speak up? You're talking about a very important issue and we really can't hear you. Not
doing
your
the best we-
fault. I don't think
Guys-
this location you picked is gonna work. We really can't hear you.
Maybe we should call in, like, maybe we should try calling in on the phone number and see if that helps the people that are online. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, good
Correct.
idea, Octavia. I'm gonna sign off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call in and see if that helps.
Maybe we should ask the ones that called in if their audio is different before we,
Yeah, let me try it
I guess.
first, Deborah, and then I'll jump right back and let you guys know if it works, okay?
They're gonna use a dial-in number instead of direct
I
to
gotta losing control.
Can't hear.
I'm Exactly. Like we don't do.
No,
So
If it's
no, go back
recorded, we don't have to record it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. We can't wait for that. So what are we gonna do? I mean, they had 48 hours to remove the fence.
You can escalate.
And wasn't 48 hours to remove the fence and the gate, or were we not specific? Can you look at the wording?
And also, did they put a ARB in for the fence?
They put the ARV in for the hedge.
Nothing else with the fence. So that was supposed to remove.
They did.
Oh, they did remove, okay, but I see a
They
gate.
removed the fence slats.
I see a gate.
Yeah.
That gate, no, the gate,
This right here, this is the bottom rail fence. They removed all the uprights and the top rail.
Yeah,
The
okay.
bottom rail's still there.
and this is, and this is.
So the conditional approval read specifically, installation of a Kalusha hedge 3 to 4 feet in height by 35 feet along the south driveway border is approved with days of the date of this letter. The white vinyl fence to be removed within 48 hours. A new fence installation requires a separate ARB, must be submitted within 7 days from the date of this letter, and made of architectural aluminum bronze and fully hidden from the new hedge, fully hidden by the new hedge of intended fence height 3 to 4 feet, except for the gate. Provided a new fence application, is submitted and installed per these specifications within 90 days, it is permissible to temporarily use the white picket vinyl fence behind the hedge to manage the foot traffic, providing it is fully hidden from view by the hedge. The white temporary gate must also be shielded from view.
I read that. I read all that, and I read all that, but I don't know.
So
We haven't received.
I don't understand, so they have not received, we have not received it.
the ARV for the fencing.
No, so we have to make a decision on that, because this is not.
They've removed the white fence, but they've not hidden the gate.
Or submitted their ARV. You haven't submitted the RV for their fencing or gate.
They're not gonna have it. They
Well,
just-
they have to
supposedly,
submit- they still
they're doing the
submit.
bronze, they said that they're gonna do the bronze.
That's what they wanted to do, but they still have to submit the ARV for the gate.
Yeah, they said,
It's on
they
there.
said it's on there, that she has to put in, she said that she's gonna put a bronze gate or fence, but it has to be hidden behind the crucias, and also it has to be approved first before installation. That I remember clearly, we spoke about that.
I mean, she agreed with this.
Yeah.
So,
And she's the one that said that, correct, if I'm mistaken, she did agree that this is what your plan is with the white. Now, I didn't even see the other gate, so
what do you mean?
the second one, I didn't see the right next to it.
Is
I
that a
didn't see
gate
it.
or is it a wall?
It's a gate.
I mean, that seems,
Was that there before, on the first violation?
Yes.
It was
I mean, I motion that she sent to finding or whatever we need to do this. I don't understand.
Yeah, it was a violation.
I mean, she was already, I don't understand, the protocol is here? What are we supposed to do?
I don't know, Tracy, what do we do?
You escalated.
Send her a letter?
To,
To fine hearing.
to a fine hearing. So I motion that we escalate to a fine hearing.
So,
Yeah, as the previous lady stated, the audio is atrocious. You have nothing but feedback and you can't even understand anything anybody's saying.
All I remember that this.
Schools get hedges to be planted within 7 days. There is separate ARB, which must be submitted within 7 days from the date of this letter, and made of architectural aluminum, bronze color, and fully hidden by the new hedge of intended fence height, 3 to 4 foot height, except for the gate. Provided a new fence application is submitted and installed for these specifications within 90 days, it is permissible to temporarily use the white picket vinyl fence behind the hedge to manage the foot traffic, providing it is fully hidden from view by the hedge. The white temporary gate must also be shielded from view. Approval terms are 7 days as described above. Any delay may result in additional violations. Any open violation will remain unresolved until final inspection and compliance.
It's all right here.
okay, so what's the procedure? They haven't complied?
You made a motion to escalate to fine hearing.
Well, let's go. Yeah, oh, yeah.
She has to go to fine here.
But when I,
Go
there's
ahead.
no white fence there, when I went there. It
There's
was
a
like it
picture
was-
right there.
There's a picture right there.
Sure.
Right, but I'm saying from the view, wasn't it from the view?
The gate is visible, the view was taken from the road.
This was the one, do you know
Well, I'm
exactly
saying
what
when
this?
I drive by.
I drove by today, it's obvious. It's right.
Oh, you went to.
Oh, okay.
It's still there.
It's there.
Right
It's there.
so that's exactly what you
It's
said.
there.
Is there?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we're only talking
Right.
about that white gate and this white thing right here. This is quite outside.
You have to explain yourself in the fine hearing.
We haven't got.
That's it. She stated that she got.
So what is, we.
She got the submitted the
She didn't even put the army for that.
She's done she's done nothing.
Fine. Made the motion. We need a second.
A second. Moving, escalating to findings, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
4-0, motion carries.
So from here, I will get in touch with the CCR committee to schedule. And then she will be notified 14 days prior to that meeting.
Okay. Very good. Okay, moving on to collections. Any changes since this, or should I just read this, Tracy?
You can read them.
This month, we moved 3 accounts, transferred to the attorney for demand letters. Do I read the lots or no? Do I keep that private?
I mean, that's up to you.
I'll just say we moved 3. And just for the record, we did personally contact, every contact the association has, trying to reach these people to make sure they knew they were in arrears. Numbers were disconnected or no numbers given. So we tried that extra step that we promised we would do. I did personally, and Tracy did as well, to no avail.
And just so everyone's aware, John, I did send it to you. I think I sent it to everybody at some point. The first one on the list that you're looking at, Tara, filed a motion to modify. So May 8th.
Okay. Okay, nothing else to do there. I just advised it. Very old business is speed tables.
Did anybody?
Back in July of 2024, the board had a meeting where they voted to install speed tables. 4 and 4 for a total of 8, 4 in the first phase, the other work, 4 in the following phase. And they purchased material through the approval process, they passed the county level, and then they went to the city, and the city said, no, our standards are more strict than the county. We only allow 2-inch height and not the 3-inch height you proposed. So they went back and forth and back and forth. Turns out there's a lot of material that's been built because it was ordered, signed, and humps. But the board, in its ongoing effort to involve the community, is strongly considering sending out a survey to restart this, to get the actual will of the people. That might not be the will of the handful of people that were at that one. Okay, so I had drafted to the board a proposed letter with survey, and I'd like to discuss that now and get some more comments if I could. This was not in the packet because it was done after.
I got it. What's the title? Was yesterday.
No, it's today. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say something concerning this. I know that the previous board that had, so basically, without the city's approval, the board has to purchase the humps and all this material, the half deposit, without getting any city approval.
I think,
That don't make no sense at all.
Initially, the board was told they did not need to pull permit.
Really? To put asphalt?
No.
I mean, to put the speed humps? You have to go
Private,
for it.
because you're private roads.
Who told them that? Oh, was this your architect? It doesn't
I mean, the
matter.
architect was shocked that you had to as well. Who was it?
Doesn't matter.
I want to
It
say it
was
was one
wrong.
of the police officers.
Whatever it was wrong.
It
So
was.
that's where we are today. So how do you guys feel about sending out a survey? What is the survey questions I laid out?
Yeah, I think it's fine. Perfect.
I think before we read them out, I think we should just have a little.
Yes, that's fine. I think it's, yeah, it's perfect. Question on that is that when we send out the survey, how much of that needs to be like voted, approved?
well, it's more, it's just it's more like when,
It's giving the board an indication.
yeah, it's just.
Board still makes it.
Yeah, it's like, I remember when Drew did the survey for, what was it, for the gate?
The percentage of what, there was like A, B, and C, right? 12 hours and then shipping
Yeah.
days, yeah, okay.
Yeah, original, right? And like
Okay, okay,
through Google, kind of just gives you
It's
an
just
idea,
a
of, like,
pulse.
because we don't get any, we don't get enough participation. So with that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this isn't some bars, 3/4 or.
Okay, that's my question. That's
Board
my
sending out a survey. So Mosh, you want to go and read it?
Oh, sure. For the questions we're gonna send out to the communities, do you believe that there is a safety problem with the residents or contractors speeding in our community? The, options are yes, number one is yes, it is a very bad problem. 2, yes, but it's not a serious issue. 3, neither yes nor no. 4, not a significant issue. And 5, no issue at all. Next one. Are you generally in favor of some form of physical device installed on our roads to slow traffic around our community? 1, strongly in favor. 2, in favor. 3, neither in favor nor opposed. 4, opposed. And 5, strongly opposed. Third, does your response on the total cost of the speed deterrent devices? 1, 3, $40,000. 4, $30,000. And 5, $20,000.
It's a question.
All right, which of the following devices would be in favor, assuming similar over all costs for each except the last one, assuming the measures will be ultimately be taken? Select all that applies. Number one is a speed bump, 12, I'll give it 12 inches depth by 2 inches tall across the width of the road with a gap for bicycles. It is slightly less costly than speed cushions. Number two, speed cushions, 20 inches depth by 2 inches tall, running across the width of the road with a gap for bicycles, assuming better for cars with low clearance than shorter bumps, which is one reason the board initially selected this design. Number three was add center road physical modifications. You must drive around a certain intersection or straightaway. Note that this would involve using more of an easement to expand the width of the road slightly at intersections and may not be possible, but if popular, we would investigate feasibility. Similar to, but much smaller than exists on the Coral Hills Drive today. And then 4 is none, I strongly against any speed. Device.
I think those are good questions.
So this will be,
On the devices, Mike, you were on that committee, right? Wasn't, because I forget, the 2 inches, wasn't that a bad choice? Well, we were doing the 3 inches.
The 3 inches is what's standard everywhere, but in I think the country except for Coral Springs.
Right, but we decided, and the 2 inches was, what was the con of the 2 inches?
So the 2 inches we never got involved in, because when I was doing it, I didn't know anything about the 2 inches. Broward County approved it, everybody approved it. It was the fire department, I think, that did not approve it
Because of the
in
trucks.
Coral Springs.
Right, and so, but you're saying that, what's the con, basically, on the 2 inches?
So far, everybody that we've spoken to, as far as like the engineer and TSNL, I'll say that the 2 inch is kind of pointless.
What?
But to me, I disagree with that.
But why, I guess, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
They're too low, and they break, they're harder plastic,
They said
unless
people
there's
wouldn't
another
slow down.
option.
They said people won't slow down for 2 inch. I would slow down.
I don't know.
Would you,
If you're in a
would
truck, you don't
2
have
inch,
to.
2 inch bump, would you slow down your car?
I always
slow
down. I go
Yes,
25 miles an
would
hour
anybody not slow
anyway.
down for 2 inch?
I think the fact there's something in the road, you're gonna slow down.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think 2 inch is better than
Now,
nothing.
I mean,
So if we do, like, say we get to that point, we do one trial. Like
Yeah,
one.
and Tracy did find a supplier, not the ones our architect
Okay.
recommended. It does
Find an
make 2
installer.
inch,
Okay,
and they might be hard plastic, which means we gotta use a whole lot of technical details. The rub on hard plastic is it vibrates and the spikes come out.
that's what it was.
So we might have to use screws, or we might have to use rubber washers to allow some vibration. You know,
Oh, that's it?
there's ways around it.
Okay, so it's
This is
not,
that's me.
oh, okay. 'Cause I
There will
think
always
if
be
that was-
questions about what it's going to do to the road bed and how it's going to change.
Those can get going and get into them.
I think the
right?
survey is
It's the kind
important.
of thing I like to get into, so I'm gonna help drive that.
Yep.
Some of
Yeah, no,
these-
as long as if the 2 inches work, then I'm all for it.
But let me just survey the 15 people in the room here. The third option is something, y'all know Coral Hills Drive?
Yep.
Right? You gotta slow down there. Right? And they're rather large. But does anybody think something like that that's thinner, 2 feet, physical barrier might work within Whispering Woods? Without any speed bumps?
Car, and you see how many people are hitting the curbing and everything. If we don't have curbs built in at all, they're just gonna be going on people's lawns.
No,
and
no,
grass.
it would, I'm saying it includes curbs. I'm saying that's part of it.
So it's horrible.
Horrible?
Oh, I mean, it's not an enjoyable drive. Our neighborhood is beautiful, and it's an enjoyable drive going around our neighborhood. And my parents live over in Carriage Point, just across the way from us. They put in all these different things. They put in the speed bumps. Once they put in the speed bumps, everyone was just driving around them. Then they had to put in palm trees and rocks, and it just finally they just took everything out after years of aggravation. I saw so many cars literally hitting those speed bumps so hard they would come off the ground, sometimes at me.
Okay, so what do you think, what's your opinion about speed bumps?
You know what, I'm not in favor of the speed bumps whatsoever. I'm not in favor of Portland Fields type of traffic management. I mean,
So you're in favor of meter?
well, I know that, you know, myself, I drive nicely. I see people drive fast. I mean, I had a woman that came up on me so fast, I thought she was going to hit me. She was tailgating me. I literally got out of my car and said, "Are you crazy? Just slow down. Don't be in such a rush."
You got out of your car.
And then the gates went up. When the gates went up, she tried to go around me. It's like, oh my God. It's like, just calm down.
Well, the purpose of the
I understand
survey
there's
is
a
to get
problem.
opinions like that. I just thought I'd grab
Yeah,
just a
there-
straw
There's
poll.
definitely a problem. And, you know, the delivery drivers, I see them sometimes going fast, but
That's the main
What
thing right
happens-
now, is the Amazons
Right.
and
but
they
those guys,
speed like, I'm Forest residents, but I mean, where I live, I can see it's like a
you know,
speedway.
I know you have to.
The biggest
run
offenders are the
So
residents.
it's the deliveries
It's
because
the
of the
residents.
job and
But the delivery
pool
guys,
guys,
they're not gonna slow down for the speed bumps no matter what. And if they do slow down for the speed bumps, then they're just gonna speed from that to the next speed bump. You know, it's not gonna stop the speeding.
I gotta wrap that up. Okay,
Yeah,
so we
motion
have,
for
we
survey
have
comment.
good
feedback.
incentive
Yeah,
to go ahead and
Good
survey.
survey, correct, motion.
We can wordsmith my words later. We don't need to go through that today. I make a motion that we run a survey for speed humps largely for this attachment.
I'll second.
Aye.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay. I'll take that task to revamp this. Board again before. Thank you for that. Moving ahead, we have, we're already up to this. Wow. Legal representation contract. We have, so this is 5B. And you're gonna love this. Okay. I took it on my, as a task for me to gather information, get ready for the board. The last meeting, we had 6 more questions we wanted to ask all the lawyers. Those questions have been asked, and they've responded. And here is the spreadsheet summary that I sent you guys late today. If you happen to see it, no need to if you didn't. Just put it- I got an extra, we pass it around just because.
These are the attorneys.
Pros and cons, all the pros, like every question, really have,
Right under that, all the attorneys.
the attorneys.
And then all these.
So we went out to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attorneys, plus Bogan Law is in there for reference, so you get an idea what they have an answer to some of those.
And Bogan's all at the end, correct?
Well, yeah, he's there, yeah, he wants to quit, he wants to resign, and, there's a lot going on there, so he won't continue anyway, even if we beg him. Okay, so you look in the spreadsheet here, the green text are good features about that person, that firm. The red are bad features, yellow is mediocre. And I have ranked them from my extensive discussions with these people and evaluating these answers, top to bottom, 1 through 7. 8, 1 through 8. 7, so 1 through 7. Once you get a chance to scan it, I'll give you the key reasons why I ranked Millbrook and Klein as number 1 choice.
What are those? What are your,
You want those now?
yeah,
Okay, look at the green part over there.
Okay.
One thing is, he doesn't charge for travel time to attend a meeting. Many of those did. It's just his time at the meeting. If you want him to attend an annual meeting or a board meeting.
Milberg.
Klein. Yeah, 2 other people did the same. The question was asked, at what point would a phone call to your office result in a cost to us? And his answer was, when it becomes a matter requiring research or referral to another attorney. Simple questions and answers are not billed. So that was a very friendly thing. He says he wants us to be a relationship. He doesn't want to charge for every single thing. The other thing I like is that he will front the costs for anything he's involved in. He won't require us to pay up front as we go through a case. And some others did that too. A big thing I thought was, as a general rule, He doesn't charge for copies, faxes, scans, phone calls, parking, nothing else. Only when it gets excessive for a day-to-day thing will he charge for that. Everybody else, without exception, charges for copies, phone use, parking at the courthouse, transcripts, delivery charges. Everybody else does except Greenspoon Market. So I'd like the idea of two guys in the office with 18 years and 30 years experience. The offices are close by in Boca Raton, so they're not young and they're not a huge firm. A possible negative near the right is that they only represent HOAs and HOA law. There is no one in their office that handles real estate, personal injury, corporate law, none of that. Some people think that's a negative, some think it's a positive. So you guys can decide for yourself. I think it's great. They just focus on HOAs. If we want to hire someone for something else, we can find another attorney to do it.
I agree with that.
Their cost was reasonable, charging a flat $300 an hour, which was on the low end. Some were lower we had, some were equal. I'm sorry, none were lower. That was the lowest, actually. Sorry, I take it back. Russell Robbins, I have a lot of respect for. He's done some work for people on the board before. And he was very good, but he's $425 an hour. And he is the one that would be our primary contact.
There's no other,
There's plenty of other people in his office, but he said he's the one who would handle us. Because he lives in Coral Springs. He's very close. His office is Miami Lakes, but he lives in Coral Springs. So that's a plus for him. Collection matters, which we do a lot of. People like Polikoff Backer charges $225 an hour because he's using paralegals, clerks for that. Milberg and Klein, the one I'm recommending, is $300 an hour, the same flat rate. So whatever time they put on collections on an hourly rate is a slightly higher rate.
Collections usually gets passed on to the resident.
Yeah, it does. It's not ours.
So it's
You know,
not-
we look at that too. So, what else was there on that? So that's the things I really liked about them. In talking to them, I gave them a competency rating of the highest, I think. Oh, their contract was 4 pages long. Other people's contracts were 6 pages long, 3 pages, 5 pages, so in a 4-page contract, that seemed rather reasonable and not over the top. His retainer agreement contract.
So are we voting on this?
Well, I'm seeing if there are more questions first, but if you want to see if we can vote on it.
Okay, so the cheapest one is the best one, is what you're saying?
Not necessarily because of the collections issue. He's charging a little more for collections, which granted is passed on to the residents, but in this case, Russell Robbins also has lawyers that charge that same or less. But again, he said he would be our contact, so. So it turns out, yeah, he is basically the cheapest hourly rate.
Can I ask a question?
1 second. Board, any more questions first?
No, I'm good.
Yes, go ahead.
It has, it's customary with respect to engaging professionals to have personal interaction with organizations. I've been involved in the whole board. That the lawyer or the top 2 or 3 firms have an interview with and in front of the board of directors as well as members of the community. Is that been considered?
It hasn't been considered to have it in front of members of the community, but it is suggested that if people want to meet them, it can be arranged. All of these attorneys said they would be happy to come for a presentation at a board meeting where they would be everybody.
So why not take them up on it?
It's a question.
All of them.
It's a question for the
all
board
of
right
them
now.
indicated that they'd be willing to make a presentation to this board as well as members of the community. Why not take advantage of that?
It's a question, it's a possibility. Personally, I don't feel it's necessary, and we can move ahead and move on with our lives with a new attorney. If we did something like that, we would drag it out another 30 days.
Or even if you narrowed it
Yeah,
down.
let's just narrow it down.
But I said that we should narrow it down.
Yeah, we gotta narrow it down.
Before.
We have to narrow
So
it down.
like, and it would be nice to have them speak to the board and the community. So, I mean, usually you have attorneys come in and they make a presentation and then people can ask questions. But just now to receive this,
Or, I mean, worst case, we can also.
In my
we can do the same
communications,
thing
I
with
did
Zoom.
recommend we narrow it, at least the limit.
okay, but you're doing all the work.
I think too.
You spoke for that. Right, no, I mean, it's just that I would like to be included. I mean, I think everyone in the community would like to be included and hear what the attorneys have to say, and then we can vote on it.
So, one second.
Does that not make sense?
I have a question about that.
Okay.
I believe the attorney represents the board,
The board.
so not the community.
Right, but present at a board meeting, and if anyone has questions, they're able to answer. I mean, you just don't present, this is not just the board, it's a community as a whole, so I would think that they would come in, present, if anyone at that time had questions.
But again, I think they represent the board, not the community.
I have a question.
So I think, I'm not 100% sure.
But when you say the community, it's specifically the homeowner.
They don't represent the homeowners, they represent the board, and I think that's, so like, I guess my question is,
No.
like, is that a presentation that should be had for the community or just for the board?
Is your question, does that break attorney-client privilege somehow?
I'm just asking what you guys think, I don't know anything about it.
Tell you what I'll do, if we want to, let me say something first, see if it answers your question. What if we limit it, cut it down to 2 people, and invite 2 people to come talk to us at the next board meeting, unless they say we shouldn't do that for some legal reason?
Yeah, and if the answer is no, then we can still have, can we have a Zoom?
Yeah,
Like a Zoom between all the
Better
board
like
members, is that
okay, let me see.
without?
So my question is, has the board done a spreadsheet to figure out what legal services you use the most to figure out where the costs are going? And in that case, you would decide which attorney is best suited for you. Secondly, does the attorney represent the board, or does the attorney represent the HOA?
The board,
The board.
attorney represents the board.
Okay.
Which kind of is.
For the HOA, for the.
It doesn't represent the residents. Let's
Right.
put it that way. It's what you call the HOA.
The attorney represents the association.
Not the residents.
That's who he will have, or she will have, a contract, not with members of the board.
No.
Will have a contract with the association. You will execute as officers that contract.
No, that's the right way. Okay. That's the right way to put it. You can't hire him to do something.
No,
You can't ask
that
him
wasn't
questions.
the voice.
There's only certain people that could ask him or her questions. All right,
Yes,
I'm
I'm
totally in
definitely-
favor of that. Do you want to limit it to 2 or 3?
I'd say 2, going on this chart here, because I have, seen these and went, spoke to a couple of them. If you want to do 3, it's fine with me, but I mean, if anybody on the board want to physically or do a Zoom meeting on one-on-one with them, I have no problem with that also. But this is something that needs to be addressed because Hogan, like I said, he wants slowly, respectfully out.
Yeah, he's got 2 months.
Right.
We-
So this
we
is
can
not
wait till the
nothing
next
to
meeting.
wear, right. I think. Yeah, that we have to get this, I saw this,
A motion for which two? To present?
Do you want to?
Milberg and Klein and, Russell Robbins.
Yeah.
Is it 325
Okay.
for Clobber? Like, is that for, because Mitchell will be our primary, and you have 325, 10, 15 years, so I'm guessing is that the 325 for Clobber Ball?
Yeah,
Clobber
that's-
Bowman?
Yeah.
325. And did they say how many how many attorneys they had on staff?
They represent 10 HOAs
Hmm.
with an average of 195 lots. So they don't have a lot for some reason. Not as many as the others. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know if
not-
that's a
not
negative or
bad.
I don't know if that's why negative.
Okay.
But two is good.
So we got some arrows, polycom, and what did you say?
And then, and Milburn.
And you said,
I say
Josh
most,
said
I said
Klein
Klein and Robinson.
do you have two that you
John,
want?
your favorites?
You go with two, it'd be Robbins and Milburn. If you go with three, it'd be on the air between Polycom or Howard.
So definitely the Klein, right? It's like,
Yeah.
everybody's on that one.
And you, what are you saying? You want Klein and who? And Polycom?
One second, sorry guys.
There's not a lot of difference between, except cost.
There's a big cost between Robbins and Polycom.
Yeah.
Just want to see if there's anything else.
Holler is better cost than Polycom, except for collection matters, they're higher hourly rate, and that shouldn't matter.
Well, we're really only between Polycom and Robbins, right? Because you got, if you think of it, if you kind of take a look. it seems like-
Clobber's not bad either, I know they're there, I don't want to bring a lot of people.
You guys are starting to waver again.
I mean, I'm kind of with Tara on Polycom.
Yeah, I mean,
So can we just do?
I'm looking at that also.
Can we just do the three?
So we just do the three and just, go from there.
That's fine, let's do that, I make a motion, we do Millwood, Klein, Robbins, and Polycom.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we're bringing those three for next week. Like it.
Which are the hours?
Okay, moving ahead. New business, we've been working diligently for 2 months now, trying to get a credit card we can use for miscellaneous expenses. We're on the verge of getting that, within days or weeks. Did you sign it?
I did, I signed to where I accepted you and Tracy and you can get the credit card. I don't need a credit card.
So you submitted.
I already did that, and I spoke with Felipe from Chase, and, I did ask him that, why was it not on your credit card and not Whispering Woods on it? He said something with the Department of Business and Regulations that it has to have somebody's name, but it will have Whispering Woods both on it. So I personally do not need a credit card.
So it's gonna be about a week or two.
Right.
And I think we need a resolution from the board that we will use, credit card for that purpose. Is that all you have on your agenda? I move that we get a credit card to use for minor expenses, so the president doesn't have to front his credit card for buying janitorial supplies and other stuff.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
The credit card has your name on it, or
One has mine and one has Tracy's.
is it this card goes?
Yes.
It's for which.
Whispering
I think with the phone.
The law says you have to have a name, not the.
Correct. They run your guys' credit.
Okay, so there's a yes. Okay, that takes care of that one. Committee reports, updates. First one up is, finance, but before you move, Anna, we do have a charter. Did anybody get a chance to review the document that I sent late from Anna? Please pass this down. Anna, can you come up and get my changes, my modifications? Is anyone else from the committee here?
Yeah, is he?
Is he? Okay. So did you guys get a chance to read through the charter? I was fine with everything said here. You've seen it before, except I have two changes. So one change is, I don't know why under structure and composition of committees, it's in red on the first page.
Yes.
I just added the word renewable to your term, so it didn't seem like you were in for 2 years and had to get out. That's not what you meant, is it?
No, that's okay, that's good word.
The second change is for discussion really, because it just seemed like I didn't want to step on any other committee's toes. So you don't have a comment, Jason?
I'm
Yeah,
sharing.
I can look with John. I'm
Okay.
sharing.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm sharing.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Anna's charter had said, in addition, a member of the finance committee will attend meetings of other committees of the board or directors as needed, where such committees are addressing matters pertinent to the functions and responsibilities described above. So my clarification, not wanting to step on the toes of those other committees, is such participation, if permitted by the other committee's chair, will not interrupt the normal flow of these committees. I don't want the finance committee hijacking another committee. Once and if financial recommendations from those committees are made to the board, the finance committee may be more closely involved, but it is not required. Do you see why I said that? Are you okay with that, Anna?
What do you think, Izzy? I mean, you just don't want to see any prodding, just you want to see financial involvement.
Like the maintenance committee, if they're in the heart of things, working things out amongst themselves, I don't want someone from the finance committee to kind of slow them down. I mean, once they got numbers, then I think, yeah, you're welcome, you should do that. But I don't want to step on the chairperson's toes there, that's all.
You know, the intent was just to have communication and coordination, not an intention of hijacking others or driving the agendas or actions by other committees.
I shouldn't have, I just want to make that clear.
That's, you use the word hijack. That's not what we're intending. And so, you know,
Maybe collaborate and coordinate.
Yeah,
Choose those words.
that's fine, that's fine.
Did I use the word hijack?
No,
Did I say that? Selfish.
You said it.
Okay, so is the way I worded this okay? I just want other committees to be able to work without having to worry about like someone's watching over their shoulder.
Sure.
Anybody have any comments with those clarifications? It's an official charter, and I'm in favor of that, so I'll make a motion to approve the charter. You can motion to?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You got it.
So we all need to do it. Okay.
Okay, now do a quick report, Anna.
Oh, well, does everybody have a report?
I know.
They're saying on the line that the only person they can hear clearly is John.
What's that?
You're the only person they can hear. So,
So really all I wanted to say, John, is this time to start, is that we met, there's a lot of documents to process. Thanks to Sherry for the template for the actual report. I like the cohesion to keep the committees kind of using the same kind of report for the flow and cohesion. Thanks to Izzy for working on the charter, which you modeled after a nonprofit section, and right, so that worked out really nicely. And when you guys have time on the section that I said, the recommendations is only 4, and we just like some feedback on that from the board when you have time. I don't want to do it now, you have a lot on your agenda. So it's just like even Tracy, if she has the answers or whatever, could follow up with the committee on those 4 items.
Okay, that's fine. I have that copy, and you also copied it to Tracy, so
Mhm.
Tracy, can you keep those as a whole business for next time? So we
Right.
can discuss.
So, yeah, nothing shattering, we have a lot to learn and to get familiar with the money movement and stuff.
So, on the committee recommendations, on the 4 that you're mentioning, request for review bids received on well paths paint project. So would that be before or after it's voted on? How does that, just wondering how that works.
Well,
I don't actually copy this.
No, this is, I guess this was what we had, what the board
So once we do.
had on the,
Right.
Yeah,
Which one?
right here, number
Joe
two.
is asking whether we want the bids before they vote on it or after.
So like.
It'll be out.
we have-
Probably after.
It's gotta be
It has to be out.
It has to be.
Yeah, okay, that's what, okay.
Yeah.
Just make sure.
Just for the record, Anna, only Tracy sees the bids before this meeting. We do that purposely so that they're sealed, basically. So you can't see the was.
But you guys also need to
But when
approve
you
the
say-
scope of work for the bid.
Right, the bids that come in, as far as board members and shutting them off of the bids, like, I would be well prepared if I saw the bids before. But I've been told by property management that I'm shut off of bids.
Not that you're shut off of it, Terry, that's harsh. No
Okay.
director sees the bids
Yeah, no, that's-
until the meetings. It's not just you. You're not picking on me. You're the only one that asked to see them, is why Tracy responded to you, that she'd been told by me to keep them sealed.
Okay, so when we're bidding on stuff, just so we can get this moving along faster, it'd be better if we can all see them before we come here, so that way we know. I didn't actually move that, the bids.
I'm fine with that a couple days before.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
adoptable,
I think that would
which,
help.
which is what I meant
Yeah,
to
that's
do with this attorney stuff. And
Okay.
Tracy did, how many days before did you send out the packet?
5 days.
5 days.
Right, so we've all.
So you
had
had it
access to
5 days before. So you had 5 days before, after the bids were all in.
For the attorney.
No, for these, for
The,
the painting.
Oh, okay.
The wells.
Oh, well, okay, that I got that, yeah.
It was
I
5
just
days.
think, yeah, I think we
I
need a
got
little
some.
bit more time, so it's intensive.
It's 5 days enough. It's all you're gonna get.
Five days is one. For the wells, 5 days,
For the wells and painting.
Yeah, you had that 5 days.
Not the painting.
not the
Not
painting,
the painting.
Oh,
you didn't get the
okay.
painting,
The wells.
that's the wells. I did ask Tracy about the painting, and she said that,
Only one
John
final thing,
said
John,
we.
I'm sorry. Final thing was, this, report and charter get posted to the enumerate?
Yeah, well. Right, Tracy, no problem with that? That's good. We will do that, but just as it, some people have a question, if committees of the board have to be noticed, and if they have to be open to everybody, I got a legal opinion on that, because I read it 2 different ways, and the legal opinion is no. Unless the committee is charged with the ability to make decisions for the HOA, meetings do not have to be noticed, and the minutes do not have to be published.
I'm sorry.
Minutes do not have to be published. Because all they do is advise the board. If the board makes a decision, that's published as part of the board minutes. But I have no problem with the charter.
We're not prohibited from having minutes of committees posted. That becomes a organizational preference on your, John.
That could be, I did not ask the question that way. You could be right. We're not required by law, is all I asked.
That's something the process committee is going to recommend, is that we do, because it's good to be transparent.
Okay, next item, if I can go ahead, Improvement and Maintenance Committee. I don't think Drew is on still. Drew, you there? What happened to Drew? And we need to ratify the appointment of Isidore Rivas to join the committee, which I move we allow Isidore to join the Improvement and Maintenance Committee.
I make the motion.
Okay, Tara makes the motion, I'll second that.
Aye.
All those in favor, aye? Aye. Okay, welcome Isidore. There's been no meetings yet. You didn't miss anything. Communication and social.
No, that's not me.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Octavia.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay, so John, are you okay with me dropping these documents, I guess, in chat? That way we can share it, or either give me share ability, and then I can share what we have. Would that work for
Can you
you?
finish in 5 minutes? You do a
Huh?
5-minute presentation?
Yeah, I
Can
won't.
you do
I don't
5
think it'll even
minutes for your
take that long. I was just going to share with you what we have been up to on the committee. I know you're on the committee with us as well, so
If you
let's
send me
see.
an email
The first,
with what you want, I can.
Yeah, I
post-
sent you an
Can you hear me?
email. I sent you an email and it's also in the portal as well. But basically, we have our proposed charter that we wanted the board to review and approve. And then we have our PowerPoint for the meeting that we had at the beginning of the month. We were going to introduce the people that are on our committee, which I believe you guys already kind of know who everyone is anyway. And I was just going to kind of run through our minutes, but I had a hard time hearing what you guys were saying about minutes, if we needed to present them or not. Did you say that we needed to present the minutes or
I'd
we
rather
don't need to present them?
In the interest of time, just whatever points you want to say about the committee's activities. The board would
Okay,
like to see the minutes,
okay,
not
sure. Well, I
necessarily.
just put it in the chat for you guys. That's there. And I'm just gonna try to, let me pull this up real quick. Give me a second.
Okay, I've got your presentation and I've got something called 41525 and proposed communications committee.
Yes,
Which one do you want?
okay, okay. Do you wanna pull it up, John, or should I just read it? I mean, I don't know how you present this.
Which one do you want me to pull up? I can pull it up so everyone else sees it. Which one? There's 3
Oh, okay,
documents in this
great. All
email.
right, well, you can just go ahead and pull up the minutes. That's fine. We'll recap the minutes real quick.
It's not labeled minutes, so I just, okay, this is the minutes, fine. Okay.
It's 4:15, 4:15.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, so the Communication and Social Committee had our first committee meeting on April 15th at 7 p.m. via Zoom. We have listed the people that were in attendance. It was our first meeting, and so we really just had to give everybody why it's important for them to be on this committee. Most of the people introduced themselves, kind of got to share their personal motivations of why they wanted to join. And ultimately, everybody in our committee really just excited about promoting unity and improving communication and getting to know their neighbors. We want to create fun events for families, for the community. Came up with the purpose statement for our committee, and we all agreed that our purpose, or the purpose of this committee, is to play a key role in keeping the community connected and engaged. Responsibilities will include planning events and activities that foster neighborly interaction, as well as ensuring residents stay informed of updates, changes, news, and resources. Members will support communication efforts through newsletters, website updates, social media, and community meetings, working together to promote transparency, unity, and a vibrant neighborhood experience. So that's the purpose of our committee. We discussed communication and, like how was the community communicating with each other. We found out that there's, in addition to the main WhatsApp chat group that a lot of people are a part of, that there are also a lot of small little WhatsApp groups as well in the community. So we're trying to consolidate having, all these different chats and really just try to have like a main communication portal that everyone can, dial into. I'm still using the WW community website as well. We understand that it's right now for board approval, but we're still using it unofficially to post information and also for our different committee groups. We're also using the HOA emails for each other, and I believe you have it on the agenda, John, that you guys are looking into possibly having some sort of one-way messaging or something like that as well. Moving along, we talked about content ideas. We do have a meeting for next week on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, where we're going to be starting the planning process for our first event, which will be a summer kickoff event. We're shooting for the first week of June, so that way we can try to get as many families to participate as possible. we're talking about, doing something where maybe there's a food truck, some games, some fun activities for the kids. We understand that the HOA is not willing to support or fund it financially. So we're going to discuss next week how we can raise money so that we can pull this event off. We also talked about some of the challenges, obviously, by not having a budget from the HOA for social events. And we're hoping that at some point, maybe a new legal counsel or someone will give the board some sort of recommendation on how to handle that. We are going to split up into subgroups. I believe right now we have like 9 people on our committee. So we got a pretty large committee. So we're going to break up into subgroups. One group will do content management. The other one will be for event planning. And then the other group will basically work on fundraising and helping us to collect money. Let's see. We talked about the importance of using the website so that we have a central point for the neighbors and everyone to communicate. We're also going to try to see if we can do some research, and I think Tracy probably could help us out with that. We are trying to figure out what the demographic looks like how many homes in the community have children that are teenagers, how many have small children, because when you're planning events, you want to make sure that you obviously are preparing for, the audience and the crowd. So we kind of need to get some demographic information, and hopefully the HOA can help us with that. If not, we talked about possibly just sending out surveys or even just knocking on doors and getting to know our neighbors. Let's see. We are looking at doing neighbor spotlights and featuring different neighbors in the community, and especially the kids, especially, right now it's time for graduation. There's a lot of cool things happening out there in the community. So we want to feature that and share all the positive things that are going on in the community. Our next steps is, like I said, that we are going to be working on this summer event that's coming up. Sherry did assist us with drafting our charter, so I have sent that to you, John, for board approval. And that's pretty much it. We're going to meet next week on Tuesday to reconvene and hopefully be able to give you guys some more updates. That's it. Any questions? Can you hear me?
I do have one just quick comment.
Sure.
Personally, I don't think it's demographics. I think
I
got that low
can't hear you,
internet
John.
connection. I'm just saying, you're gonna have to do a survey to get the demographics. Tracy is not gonna be able to release to you information about how many children people have or their ages from what they've given.
Okay.
But just count on doing that a survey, whoever replies can do it.
Oh, okay. I
That's the
think
only-
I heard you say that we have to do our own survey. Is that what you said? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
For demographics, yes.
Okay. All right.
Other
And
than that,
you're on
thanks.
committee chair, so I'll just follow up with you offline as far as what that looks like moving forward.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
Welcome committee. Anything to say on that? I guess, Terry, you're here.
No, so far we had, I think 3 or 4 welcome new residents that have moved in. Drew and myself have been there, along with the volunteers from the welcome committee. Tangela Cummings was there to assist. I think it's going very well. And we had Phyllis Sharpen was also there, so I want to thank you guys for showing up for the committee. And so far, it's going great.
Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you, Tara. Rules and policies.
Rules and process.
Guys have the sound.
So I'm Sherry Ware, and this is our first report to the board. The Rules and Process Committee was originally formed. The board has a briefing book in front of them that gives them the presentation as well as a lot of information on us. Let me introduce our committee just a bit. We're chartered to review the rules, amendments, and the enforcement practices that the board has in place. A lot of these amendments have been made over the years, back in 2017. We reviewed these amendments from 2002 through 2017. Concerned us, but nothing really that was frightening. However, we did find a few things that we would like to bring to the board's attention. I only have a few minutes, so we're going to get right to it. Some of the critical observations we found were that amendments adopted prior to 2017 included language that followed a very consistent structure. The structure is required by paragraph 11 of the declaration. Amendments adopted in 2017 do not follow this consistent structure, and that was used previously. So those amendments are found in the back of the briefing document. Examples are included, explicitly changed the way elections were performed. Those changes included the elimination of proxies that elected the board. You cannot change the way the board is elected through proxies. Unfortunately, within our governing documents, that violates the Declaration Article 11.6, which requires a unanimous member approval to alter voting rights. Additionally, original member expectations. This is pretty explicit. There was an email that was sent out by the HOA that introduced the membership meeting. The membership meeting detailed all of the amendments that were to be introduced during that meeting. It had nothing to do with eliminating all of the voting. It had nothing to do with the way that anything would be handled. And in fact, it did talk about proxies. And that's perfectly fine. But unfortunately, it did not recognize that you had to have 100% of members approve that. Is that there's a new rule that's being introduced by the state that also talks about proxies, but we do not have the Kaufman language. Consider that when we move forward. Our violations and fines. I see the shaking hands.
Which one's that one?
Good job.
Which one is that one?
This is violations and fines.
Oh, got it, okay, sorry.
Article 9.02.4, the 2017 amendment. It was intended to remove the fine caps that were in excess of the 2017 statute. However, it implemented a maximum allowed by law clause. It also instituted unlimited aggregation. What that means is there is no limit. There is absolutely no limit to the amount of fine we can impose. Now, my observation and the observation of our committee is that though this conflicts with the intent, but not the actual language of the Florida statute. The Florida statute says there is a $1,000 maximum per violation limit. However, there's an out. As long as it does not disagree with the language of the governing documents. There again, let's go back to what the language of the 2017 March 14th meeting. The meeting introduced the language. And the language in that email very explicitly said, we would be applying a $1,000 cap to the fines. Now, the language and those emails are all included in the board's package.
So that was in 2014?
That was 2017.
17.
That was March 14th, 2017. Copies of those emails are included. So what this does is it legal? I don't know. We don't have records. We don't have the actual records. We do have copies of the emails. But what it does is it eliminates trust. It totally eradicates trust in the board.
What I've included in the board's packages are the beginning language and the ultimate ending language of all these clauses. And finally, I make recommendations on behalf of our committee. So our committee recommends that the board suspend enforcement of these flawed provisions until such time as they are corrected. The board members amend the bylaws, Article 5.02. The board has a lot of power in the bylaws. You can amend that clause on your own. You do not require member approval.
I'm sorry, number 2?
If you go to number 2, if you look at paragraph 9.03, adoption of bylaws, the board can amend that, they can amend the bylaws by the board itself. You cannot amend proxy. You cannot amend the rights of the members, but you can change the way voting is conducted. You just can't change members' vote. If you take a look at the paragraph, you'll see what I'm talking about.
We're
All
not
right?
looking for that. Just
No, this is why you have a briefing book. This is why we're just giving you a briefing book, right? Right? And then re-amend Article 9.02.4 to explicitly limit the amount of fines that this homeowners association applies to its homeowners. The unlimited amount of aggregation is, in my opinion, was never intended by the members of this community. And develop an amendment process that ensures that future amendments are rapid and aligned with governing documents, and that future amendments or this doesn't happen in the future.
You missed one.
I did. I'm not gonna read all details. So I know you only wanted me to do 4 minutes, but
All
so
7.
I have, I'm open to questions. There's a lot of details here. The board report is much more detailed. And thank you for your time.
So I do have a question.
You really
Go ahead.
want to ask questions now, or just take them on your
I want to ask a question now about the 2017 amendment. Was that, who was on the board at that time? Does it say?
The board members at that time, Stephanie, Barry, Chuck Banker, I don't remember who else. But nobody in this room.
Okay, so there was an illegal amendment that was passed.
Okay, I'm not saying that. I did not say that. I did not say that.
Okay.
Stephanie and Barry signed the documents.
Stephanie and Barry signed the amendments.
Without the majority vote of the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We don't know. So wrong with what that board did at that time. I'm still ready to sue the association for what happened to me then in Small Claims Court, because I never got any kind of notice to have my fining committee or anything else.
Forgive me,
The board
with
members
respect,
did it.
I don't want to go off the rails on that. You got something you want to discuss outside?
Thank you for your time.
Sherry, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sherry.
That was a nice presentation, Sherry.
Thank you, Sherry.
Lot of work with your committee.
Second
everyone.
class call.
Thank you.
Mike has a question.
Okay, one question, semi-comment to the board, just be careful on that capping at $1,000.
Yeah, I
Could
agree.
be the slippery slope that's a detriment of the community.
Even if someone installs a
No,
piano in their backyard?
No, I get
$5,000.
a violation notice to clean my roofs. My roof is $2,500 to get it cleaned. Just find me $1,000.
I don't disagree with
That's a
you.
real, I mean, and that can go on, you can multiply that out, and pretty soon the community looks like a dump.
I
We know
do
this
not
one.
disagree with you, Mike. In fact, I'm gonna add something. We implemented that $1,000 limit because we were in trouble because we exceeded the $5,000 limit. We originally had a $5,000 limit that's why we changed it.
Well,
So
I mean, it could be,
I
just be real careful
know,
because
I know.
I'll just do what I want to do as
I
long as you're
totally
fine with
agree.
what I want to do.
I totally agree with you. I know, I've thought this over. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Let's look at a couple more.
It's ugly side, it's ugly on the other. People get $100,000 fine.
Thanks for that.
Just
Agreed,
Jerry,
100%.
thank you for this.
Thank you, Jerry.
That's good.
Thank you so much.
So,
Just
Is this regarding something?
No, there's no action.
There's no action follow.
I'm in violation.
Trust us to follow. We said we would. We appreciate the committee, and I don't want to be managed. CC&R.
Nothing yet.
Well, new Lakeshore Committee. Okay, that's real brief. I have about 12 people who responded to the email we sent. We talked some about that, and we're gonna get moving on that pretty quickly. And the goal is to come up with some solutions that people will implement out of their own pocketbook, on their own shore, but maybe we'll get a discount if we get like 12 lots that want to do the same thing. We're all gonna lose land. I mean, I've lost 200 square feet 2 weeks ago. It just fell off and rolled down the 40-foot drop into the bottom of the lake. My dogs are crazy. They walk to the edge and they say, what the hell happened here? No, it's bad. The North Lake, I was up there today, not bad at all. No water, but they're not losing land.
They
These
will be
states-
state lake.
No, the way theirs is built, it's really shallow.
Yeah, I
It's
read
really
it,
sick.
yeah, what's the other day, that whole,
It's sick.
no, the other side, where we're seeing right and Ori, half of that island is broke off.
So as soon as, bought.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Anyway,
she bought, yeah.
So I got 12, and I just want to say for the record in the minutes, that anybody else who wants to join this, just to be kept up to date, please send Tracy or myself an email or call me. The next thing.
So
This is-
we're going to form the Lake Shore Committee.
Oh, do we have to vote on that? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding it's different than a committee because the HOA is not responsible. We're just being the coordinating party to help people get things done.
So,
People know that.
so can we,
I think so.
it's not,
There's no problem making it, is there? Tracy, do
I
you-
would think to have a group of neighbors get together and talk about an issue.
Board, does board members have to be on it?
No,
We don't need
it's
to
a
vote on that.
non-HOA thing.
that's what we're
I
saying.
mean, you would do that on your own.
I mean, I don't wanna be, bad, I'm not on a lake, but I mean, I'd love to oversee anything.
I just kind of think the board needs to.
You want me to draft your charter?
You wanna, you make
The
a
board
plan.
needs to be involved because there are things on the lake, like the valve and the sandbags that are around drains that are affected by the lake.
We wanna make it people.
And the HOA has land, the board is coming, like the islands.
If I may, I just wanted to share, this was taken about 2 hours ago across the lake from me, just how bad it's getting.
Mine's worse.
I know, but mine is starting to fall too. I mean, it's just
back to you, right?
this is across.
Yeah, that's Tina.
Yeah.
War came down just yesterday, that's why I took a picture of it today. They're probably the worst in the neighborhood, I don't know, but mine, I lost some sense.
Just maybe
No,
10 feet.
You asked me to, I've been getting people coming out.
I mean, if you have one,
I got people coming out, but some people are.
No, he said if we can make.
Next.
Are you gonna form this committee?
I'd like to talk to
I'm glad I don't have lake front property.
Starting now too, so that's across
Just
the
like
lake from me.
social,
And are you gonna be the board chair liaison?
All right, the next topic is enumerate portal listing of board members. Okay, there's a lot of misinformation that's been going around, at my expense mostly. Some people have come publicly and said that I am the reason that Tara is not listed on the portal. Even though I published to the community why Tara's not on there, and I'll say it again, it doesn't matter. She's not on because personal choice. Has to do with the numerate and the capabilities of a numerate. I'm not gonna get it, but to get around that thing, we have now taken a step to take all the directors off the enumerate portal. And we now have a document which lists, sorry, I gotta do the share here. A document which lists the committees. So if you look at it now, you'll see a document similar to this, except the one that's posted has added phone numbers and email addresses.
That's right. Well, there's two. There's one for the board and committees, and then there's one for the board and HOA contacts.
Okay. So you'll see this posted, Tara is listed as a vice president. Yay, finally got that done.
Both email and phone. Okay, perfect.
And the committee's the same thing. We list the committee members here also.
No contacts.
And that's done as a document. Hopefully that'll put everything to rest and people won't be blaming me anymore for things I didn't do.
Okay, so I just want to say that on the information that you sent out, it was, I can tell you a current feature of our portal is that only list officers who are listed on the deed of their property in Whispering Woods. Tara knows this.
That's what I just said.
Okay, so here's a copy of my deed. And I am listed on my deed, so that will be.
Can I see that?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, do you want us to do this during the meeting?
Well,
I've been asking you for this, and Tracy's been asking you for
No,
this
no,
for
no, no,
months.
you've never asked me for
Tracy
it.
has.
No, no,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
When we moved in, it's recorded. I'm on the deed. I've always been on my deed. But you decided
No,
to form your opinion to say that I
Tara,
wasn't on
Tara,
the
do you
deed.
want to do this now?
What I'm telling you is that, where is
Shall I pull up these?
Isn't all of this on Broward
Do you want me
County?
to pull up Broward County property appraisers?
Yeah, does it come on property? Oh, it does not?
Have you looked at?
I'm
Broward
I'm on my deed.
The
Yeah, but-
deeds are on Broward County
Right.
property appraisers. Are you listed there?
It says alias name, and I'm on the deed. Yes,
But your name is not there.
yes, it is.
It is
If you
not.
look at the deed.
This, no, you
It
cannot
says
look
that
at
my
the
deed
deed.
is not available.
Tara, the deed is
Okay,
blocked.
my deed is available now. You never asked me. You accused me of not.
She
doing
asked
that.
you for
No,
this
she did
3
not.
months ago.
And when, no, she did not ask me for that. She did.
Right. This is a copy of the deed, which is not available publicly,
Like,
which
well,
we could not get.
here's the thing. I'm on my deed. That can be loaded into the WW community so everyone can know that I'm on the deed of my property.
Who is
Why
Red?
didn't you just have us, give us them before?
Who's,
That's the people that we bought it from?
okay, I'm sorry, my glasses.
Okay, yeah.
All right, this
But
is,
you assumed that I was not, you put it in the community
I did
without
not
knowing the
assume,
facts.
I looked at BCBA.
Okay, that's fine. We're gonna move
That's the
on.
legal.
I
thank you.
just want
Thank you.
everybody to know that it will be uploaded. I am on the deed.
This doesn't look like a deed, Tara, I'm sorry.
It is, it's my warranty deed.
There's no recording stamp.
It's warranty deed,
A recording stamp should be on there.
honey.
Honey,
I'm on my deed.
can you get that to Tracy?
So, I'm sorry, I mean, misinformation has been given out, and you are part of the problem that's giving out misinformation.
Okay. On and on. We have solved the problem this way,
Can you
so.
get it? Recording number?
Yes,
Thanks.
So it doesn't have a.
and thank you for asking me, Joe, because no one asked me that, so I appreciate that. They just assumed.
Next.
Moving on.
All right, what do you got?
I'll forward you the email that we requested.
Thank you.
Please, I've seen it as well. Forward to the whole board, please.
Appreciate that.
I mean, it was just like this.
I apologize for raising my voice. I
Before
have taken a
hours,
lot of
Tracy told me
accusations
that
for
wasn't valid.
many weeks, and most of it's false.
It can't be false.
Can we move on, please? I got, I wanna
False
go home.
information.
Let's do this.
We're done with the listing of the board, correct?
I'm sorry.
We're on the
Entrance wall, painting.
entrance wall, correct?
6D. Tracy, did you hand these out yet?
I did.
Are we on?
Painting.
Painting or?
Painting of the interior.
Yay.
There's a summary on the packet, right on the first page.
Okay.
The low bidder, I noticed on here, Tracy, can you confirm, has only one coat sealer and one coat paint, is that correct, as he said here?
Two coats.
So that's the low bidder, 11,600, it's two total coats. And the next lowest bidder is JC Deco at 14,000. That has two coats in addition to the sealer. Both of these people included patching and painting of the caps.
Well, hang on, if we can we confirm the scope work?
Yes, please
Will we
do.
approve a proposal for it?
Please do.
I was advised by you to obtain proposals for painting only the interior portion of the east and west entrance walls.
And the caps.
No, you didn't mention the caps, but I did get quotes for the caps.
Also,
Yes. So do we agree with that scope of work?
Yeah, we're trying to do something to improve the community back.
yes.
So we got, so 360 gives you like,
Seen their work in Broward County or, so we don't know anything about it.
The only one is JC Deco. I gave Tracy that name.
Turned by Tara,
The
okay.
previous project.
I have never looked at the contract, I was blocked out on the previous.
No, we don't, nobody saw this, nobody saw this. Yeah, nobody's seen this.
Okay.
We've now seen this.
No, but doesn't it say Tracy and Tara? I had no idea.
Where?
Oh, that was,
Can you
It
repeat what you had
says
said?
ARV, I don't even know how many names on there.
I think he just used you as a reference.
I think he used you as a reference, correct?
It's a proposal from a year ago.
Correct.
Did you not know that?
Nope, I had no, I was locked out from the previous board, I had no idea.
You're talking about.
You referred the contractor to us.
I referred the contractor,
Yes.
but I never saw, I don't even know why my name was on it, no one ever gave me a copy of that.
because you're, I think what they're saying.
No, you referred AZR Builder, the contractor. The builder was present.
But it says Tara.
Right, well, yours that started. Their intention was because these are back to the.
Tracy called in on this goal. You're disavowing any favoritism towards ARZ at $42,750.
Yeah. That's fine. Obviously.
So just for you guys,
It's getting revenge.
$2,500, you would have enough water to power the entire on city water. Today, we zoned for 25 works out to 450 gallons per minute, 270,000 gallons per month. Comes out to $3,100 a month. Water supply. Keep in mind, we're doing this for how many months a year? This year, months. How long have we had no water?
A month and a half.
Month and a half so far. Maybe another month and a half before we get rain. 3 months. If we water 20 minutes a day in water, it would cost us $9,000 to get by this period of no water in the lake.
Per year.
This year, this is a bad year. I want to talk to Don, he didn't call me back in time. My idea is if we cut that instead of 20 minutes to 10 minutes during this drought, just to keep things moist so they don't die. It only costs $1,500 a month. It's worth considering rather than spending 24, well, per gate, $13,000 to install wells and the ongoing cost of rust remover that you need.
How much is it?
It's the next item to bid on. We got it on there.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, what, I would do this at my house, but it's the association's money. I would spend the $2,500, let budget hook this up and see if it works. And get some water. That's what I would do.
How come this wasn't done previously?
Everyone thought it's way too much. No one gets through. I'm thinking outside the box. I'm thinking outside the box.
They don't have to talk about sewer.
This is a water only rate.
Okay, but that's 3,100 for bulk gates.
No, one gate.
Only one.
Oh, you do 10 minutes is both. It's 1,500 per gate. You only water 10 minutes a day.
Now because it's bad. No, I understand that, but I mean, it's gotta, if we do it, yeah. Oh, forget it.
It doesn't help the cul-de-sacs.
Well, it's watered all day water today.
Because
They're on city now. Costs about $42 a month. You can do a cul-de-sac.
Is that why you guys didn't do it?
This house is much more affordable.
Right.
When you consider the work budget has to do to hook it up. And then you gotta pay for the rust remover, which is a couple $100. We'll get to that.
Here and then.
What do you guys, I mean, I'm basically suggesting, let's authorize $2,500 to see if this works, and we can start watering next week.
How about we do, how about something like next 3 months?
Well, we just gotta spend $2,500 first to get it.
Oh, $2,500 to get them.
And then it's $3,100.
If we do 20 minutes.
However, I will say, a well is a long-term investment.
Yeah.
Water is a forever investment.
I agree.
Right, but it's all,
My
right.
well is 30 years old.
Yeah.
Tracy, how many people have told you their wells have dried up in the community? Just one? 2 people's wells have dried up in the community.
How deep are those, you know?
They need to
I'm
check.
guessing it's
Your well
not a-
may have- your
This
your
guy's
well may not have-
Yeah, my parents
had
is 100, mom's 120 off.
It wasn't just them. It was the other guy.
Had a guy,
One of them had a well guy.
well guy.
Can we?
One of these well guys.
I had Earth and thing. I had them on my.
I really feel good about this. It's a cool solution for the short term. I would love to spend $2,500 to see if it worked. Table the well discussion.
Isn't it also true that if the needs are closed,
It's hard to say. It's really hard to say because you got so much evaporation. Maybe a couple of weeks, I don't know. I mean, you're right. The gate, the valve was open, but it just, it's out the ground. Go out. I don't know how fast. We'll find out this year.
Congrats, I don't think you're
They're
supposed to
not
water
enforcing
every
it.
day.
They're not
But now it's
enforcing
not getting any.
I only water twice a week.
I don't water every day.
I wouldn't mind 20 minutes. 20 minutes is the right amount of saturation. Whatever you need. Get a half an inch of water.
Well, part of the problem against the walls.
Along the
And right
water.
now, there's nothing.
I would just love to see if it's.
I make the motion.
Well, the state's beautiful.
Not in this trial.
We're gonna try
Can we
something.
limit the trial? 5
So
months, 6
you
months?
said 3 months?
Oh, we're
I
doing
could do 4 or 5
something.
months, I don't care.
What,
Yeah,
what's
just
the
say,
trial?
as long as, if
What
there's
is the
like
trial that you wanted?
long-term.
My trial is to spend 2,500 for one gate and see if it is powerful enough to pop up all the rotors. And water. As Don thinks.
We don't know.
He's like 90%. See, we're going from a 3-inch pipe to a 2-inch pipe. And a 5 horsepower pump to city water.
I love you, Don.
I'll start the motion. I would motion that we spend 2,500 up to 3,000, just because we don't know Don's. Try it on the west gate first, because it's driest. Eastgate just lost water for weeks.
No, last.
Up until now, east.
On the lake. Okay.
All right, is there a second?
Motion up to $3,000 in addition to the.
Pump, is the pump involved in all this?
That includes the meter.
Pump?
Pump's not used.
Oh, yeah, that's straight on city.
Is there a second? Guys, the internet's really bad. Sorry if you're listening remote. All right, so there's no second. We don't know what to do. Motion dies. Does that mean you guys want to go straight to wells? Skip the idea? What do you
It just
think?
seems like a long term.
Sawgrass and the area for the estates is much
I don't
smaller.
know
That's
where
only a
we
2 horsepower.
can- Sawgrass.
It's gotta be looked at.
Isn't there like a gate wall back there where you can install?
Nothing that we own that's city.
Oh,
The estates, there's gotta be.
We can't talk about that. But the estates we can. So 3 out of 4 could do this.
no, you can't do.
I honestly
No.
think, you guys, I honestly think we're silly if we don't spend the money to try it. I really think this could work. If it's only twice a week, you're gonna spend like less than $1,000. If it works, you don't have to do every day. I just put what we do every day. It just seems to me that we're silly if we don't try it. What's your objection?
My objection. I water a lot. And like my wife will. Handled by city water, not the well water, and it's just like. Okay. I just see our water need.
And
What do
also,
you got?
all the landscaping that we're gonna have to install.
Well, it's all done.
Yeah, we're not, there's nothing in proposal to get new landscaping, is there? Okay. I mean, we're
Sherry,
gonna be running into
Before you leave,
hurricanes.
what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
$2,000 investment, I give it a shot, let it go for the next year.
That's right.
Okay,
1 year, because we may never have a drought like this again.
Well, it's an exceptional 5 years.
Yeah.
okay.
I would go
So you
1
think, okay, okay.
Motion, motion.
See, I make
Go for it.
you say three.
How are you modifying it? What do you?
Do it by six. Like that.
We know we're gonna get rain before 6. It's not gonna be.
So you just
makes-
putting this.
I just don't want us to be like.
Hurricane season's June, so.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I'll modify the motion. We spend up to $3,000 by Eastgate, Westgate first, and we do it at the most for 3 months duration.
Okay, there you go. And the motion passed.
I second.
Joe seconds. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion to spend up to $3,000 to add a 2-inch meter and connect to the Westgate.
For 3 months,
system.
Westgate.
3 months.
Who's second?
Westgate.
Joe. Joe, not.
Joe,
Doesn't matter.
Joe did. Joe did.
I don't want to be, like favoritism, but how long can we start the Eastgate also? Like after a month?
It's like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it works, but
Cool Springs, they said they could get there in 1 to 2 weeks.
okay.
Their first budget is probably gonna be 2 days after they're done. Very good.
Okay.
We can start soon.
I just don't want to start one side and then
If it works, then.
residents start flipping out on the
I
other
think
side.
that's why Joe said 6.
Resident start
This
flipping-
We want to go. We immediately do those for the same price. I'm fine with that.
You say,
Yeah.
you guys, and there's online,
And I made the motion. We're running way over. I'm really sorry, guys.
okay.
The table. Table the what? Two AM. Sleep for 3 hours. Bills. It's not doing us any good for speed. I'm right, moving ahead.
Pressure cleaning mulching block.
Let's just give it right. We're not gonna flowers and stuff.
Well, we're not gonna pressure clean.
And do the floor.
They're gonna be,
I like it. So let's wait and see.
I guess when they're purchased.
Be nice to put some flowers in. If we get water, we're gonna put flowers in. So then we'll be pressure clean with the flowers, just.
Correct.
Keep them all. Yes. It can't. For now. This texting program is looked at. So that'll be tabled for early.
Okay, last thing.
Last thing is.
Wow.
Plus. We pay this out. Plus.
Okay, you.
Who's that?
This is a property management. Okay.
Okay, so what I've told everybody is, come on, time out, please. Board meeting, please.
All right, I didn't finish.
On April 30th, this board will decide if we want to continue with a full-time PM or we want to switch to 20 hours a week and go through a management company instead of an individual, or a management company at 40 hours a week. So the first decision is 40 or 20. I've told these people this, the people we've been at. After we make that decision, I'll arrange meetings with the remaining 4 directors and the top 2 or 3 bidders during the weeks following April 30th. So the board will meet with different product management companies individually, 2 at a time, so we don't violate it. We expect to notify the selected company by June 1 with the plan date, August 1 and so on, giving 30 to 60 days overlap. So Tracy gets an actually think of, she's professional. Now, that's what I told people. Now, if you look at these prices, and you compare the 20 to 40 hours, $35 to go 40 to 20. Tracy called today. Consider What are you saying? You're talking to me about a survey. What survey?
The survey that we're supposed to go, she's never been evaluated out of this whole time.
I agree with you. She's never been evaluated.
Okay, so that's what we need to do first, and just instead of keep someone and spending money. Keep her on until September when we need a property man to get this thing up going.
You gotta write something up. You gotta record the motion. If there's no second, you don't need to write it.
Okay.
Decision to make that determined, rather than to allow the buyer to do something. Now they're not found that on a courtroom that. Not at labs, not terminated. This is Tara. Tara has a counter.
Right.
So what's your
So the motion is,
You did, the people gotta hear it.
oh, okay, I'm sorry. The motion is to do a survey, an evaluation on Tracy. And give her 30-day notice, because in her contract, she's supposed to cover certain things to our community, which she has not done. She's never been evaluated. We've never gone.
That's a long motion.
Okay, I make them, oh, I'm sorry, okay.
Run evaluation, give her, run evaluation, give her 30 notice.
Correct.
Oh, that's it, that's good.
And a notice of make the motion of a notice of a non-renewal of Tracy's contract.
Okay, is there a second?
Okay, so the motion dies.
Motion dies. Just so you feel better, Tara, and to everyone else in the room, termination without cause for her contract. This agreement may be terminated by the association or manager with 120 days prior notice. June, July, August. We're talking 1 month difference. If terminated by the association. How much time can you give us? I'm sorry.
We close in 30 minutes.
We gotta be out here in 30 for sure.
No, we gotta be
Now, you say now.
We have to follow, like, another board meeting.
Yeah.
With 20 bucks
Appreciate
help?
it.
With 20 bucks help?
No.
With 20 bucks help?
Can we just do like a meeting in the neighborhood or something? Did we agree on the, did we agree on the 20, 40? We didn't agree on the 20 minutes.
We agreed on the 20 hours.
We agreed on 20 hours. Oh, I don't.
I thought we voted on it.
I thought we voted on.
20 hours.
No,
Okay.
I thought we did vote on 20 hours.
I'm gonna call a new meeting.
So what, can we vote on the 20 hours? I mean, it's the 3 of us, right?
Actually,
Well, if we vote on the 20, we can vote the 20 hours. I make the motion to vote 20 hours for a property management company. I make the motion.
second.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We don't want to carry, so we're going to 20 hours probably.
Very good.
We'll set a new meeting, finish this discussion.
Thank you.
Meeting's closed. Sorry, guys, if you couldn't hear it. We're getting kicked out of the room.
No, we good.